Let's go. Right here in the shadows of Ramsey Solutions World Headquarters, John joins us in Nashville, Tennessee. John, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how you doing? Yeah, I can probably throw a rock and hit your building. So,
oh, that's fantastic.
Watch out.
Yeah, man. Well, we're in here. It's lonely. I got to tell you, it's lonely. But at least I have Joe and Madison and Nathan behind the glass in there. They keep me from going crazy. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, this is probably going to mirror your first call that you had today, but I've started my own podcast, and I am just looking to pick your brain a little bit about practical ways that I can grow it.
Oh,
and,
I love it.
Just kind of get some ideas for you about it, kind of get your feedback on what I have set up already.
All right, hit me. Let's go. Hit me with your questions.
Well, the podcast itself, it's in its infancy, so I'm looking to see what are some good ways that I can just generate awareness about it and generate some listenership and really get those numbers and those metrics going while I grow as a podcaster, and while I while I really find, as you were talking about with your journey in radio, kind of find my voice. And it's already a pretty niche podcast. It's
so here's it's still in its. All right, so let's roll into this. All right, so you said it's a niche podcast. That means you know who your target audience is, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So where do those people congregate online? That's the first question that you need to answer, and specifically. So think social media as well. So when I say online, where are the digital hangouts for those folks? That's the first thing I'd want to know. So are they on certain webinars? Are there online communities on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? I mean, you need to be scouring. Even LinkedIn. I mean, you're just thinking every online platform. Think social media plus, like I said, the webinars or the groups. Is there also a local group or a regional group or a national group that meets? These are the things you want to know. So where are they physically gathering and where are they digitally gathering? You tracking with me so far?
Yes.
All right. That's really important. Do you know those answers yet?
I know a few of those answers, yeah.
Great. So now this is about the proximity principle. You get that, right? Who are the right people, yes, and where are the right places that you and your program need to be, okay? So once you identify all those groups, who are the influencers in those groups? Have them on your program. They don't know how big your audience is. You don't need to go, hey, it's brand new and I've got 6 listeners. You don't need to tell them that. You just say, hey, I've got a podcast. They have the same affinity for this topic or whatever you're doing that you do, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So have them on. And so when you have them on, you have a conversation, and then you ask them to promote the conversation on their platform. Now, all of a sudden, you've grown your audience, or at least your potential long-term audience, but you'll grow your initial listenership just by impressions, right? So you want to grow your impressions by having them on your program and having them share it, okay? And then hopefully, there's a relationship that is established, okay? See, by you promoting other voices on your program, other voices in that community, you don't have to turn it into an interview show, but I'm saying every once in a while I would have those folks contribute to your program. So that's where I would start.
That is part of the format of the show is an interview. I do a couple solo segments by myself, and then I have an interview.
Well, good. So that's what I would do. There's a lot of people out there that probably be willing to come on your show, especially during this downtime. So what if you batched 20 interviews in the next 20 days? I would be doing that. And so then again, the other thing is then physically, once we get back to some type of normalcy where you can travel, are there conventions? Are there gatherings? You need to show up. Ask them if you can do your podcast live in the lobby. So you just have to start showing up around the right people and in the right places. And again, digitally, that's a lot easier to do. Where are those same people on social media? Are you following them on social media? Are you repurposing their stuff and giving them credit? You just all of a sudden have got to keep showing up in all these different places as a guy who's aggregating and promoting and creating. Those are the 3 key words. Write those down. You want to aggregate, create, and promote. So you're aggregating other people's content and promoting it, and then you're creating your own content and promoting it. That's how you grow this thing. And there's no magic formula. Now, over time, you could probably do some very cheap advertising on Facebook because, again, Facebook allows you for a very small amount of money to create a very specific demographic that you advertise to. And so there's other small dollar advertising over time. If you build up a budget for this or you save and plan to do this, you can get it out through traditional advertising on social media as well. But that's how you grow this thing, continuing to show up. Because if you do a really good show that you would be proud to listen to, meaning you go, hey, I'm in this niche market and I love this program. That's the program you need to create because that's your best chance of succeeding. That's what most podcasters miss. It's the same for writers. Produce and distribute a show that you would love to listen to. And steal like an artist. What are some other podcasts, John, in the area that you're in, the niche area, the market that you're in? You know, what are they doing well? Are there YouTube channels? You need to create a YouTube channel. If you're podcasting anyway, when you sit down in front of the mic, have a camera rolling. Now you just did one audio podcast that also became video. So in one sitting, you created a program for 2 different formats. It's beautiful. You got to just keep showing up. Keep producing content. Keep putting it out there. There is no magic pill, folks. But the key is to do something that you would love, but then be open to seeing what other people are doing that's working that you love and add an element of that. That's that steal like an artist idea, not plagiarizing, but taking stuff that influences you and inject it into your program. That's how you get better. And then get feedback. Be okay with feedback. What are real listeners saying? What do they want? Let's say you get a little newsletter going, John, last piece of advice. Say you got 100, 200 people on an email list. Ask them what they want. These are the things that make you a better broadcaster. And it's actually not difficult. Anything I just laid out right there, none of that is difficult to do. It's all doable.